Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today I'm going to be going over what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, new in Grand Theft Auto Online this week we have the Ocelot Virtue. It's finally been released and it is available to be had for free by completing the new 5 last dose missions that were added with today's update week. It's a fantastic car. It's got a Monty tech, it's got an armor upgrade, as well as a proximity oil slick mine dropper. All of these things can be put on within the agency vehicle workshop. Overall, this car is absolutely fantastic and you should absolutely try to get it by completing those 5 last dose missions. However, if you do have GTA Plus, you will be able to purchase this thing on Legendary Motorsport, so that is kind of cool. On Southern San Andreas Super Autos, we also have another new car, which is the Willard Eudora. This goes for $1,250,000 and I would not recommend picking up this car. I do have a full customization of this as well as the Ocelot Virtue on my channel, so if you guys are interested in knowing a little bit more about either of these cars, go and check those videos out. Now, of course, like I mentioned, we have the last dose missions added into Grand Theft Auto Online, so that is cool. But of course, what everybody is going to want to know about this week are the money bonuses. Under the adversary modes, we have triple money and triple RP on all of the overtime rumble adversary modes. This is going to be a pretty good way to earn money if you are a lower level and you don't really have any businesses in GTA. It's also pretty fun to just do, so I'd recommend trying this out if you have never done that before. And these are on bonus money until March 30th. On top of this, we also have Sumo Remix on double money and double RP for the remainder of this week. So that is a pretty decent bonus. Sumo is always fun. Give it a shot if you haven't before. And we got a lot of other bonus money this week. We have a 50% bonus for the money and the RP of the Fooligan jobs that you get from DAX. So instead of those paying 50k a piece, they're now going to pay $75,000 a piece for the remainder of this week. You can access these by calling up DAX in your phone and requesting work. We also have double money and double RP on first and last dose missions, which you need to get the Acid Lab and then obviously the Ocelot Virtue as well. Those are going to be on double money and double RP until March 30th as well. We also have double supplies for the Acid Lab resupply missions in GTA Online this week as well, so that's pretty awesome. And a 50% acid production speed boost is applied to the Acid Lab for the remainder of the week as well. So make sure you guys are grinding out your Acid Lab this week. It's going to be profitable. And now, of course, we got to talk about the discounts. Starting off on elitist travel for once, we have the Sea Sparrow 50% discounted. The Sea Sparrow is an interesting vehicle. It's one of very few helicopters in the entire game that can land on the water. This feature sounds good in practice, but it's not really all that useful. I don't find myself using it very often. Overall, it's a decent vehicle, and for 900k, you can't really go wrong with it, but at the same time, you probably will never use it, to be honest. So I'd say it's one that you should probably avoid this week, even though the discount is absolutely fantastic. And moving a little bit further down, we have the Buckingham Milljet on discount this week. And as you can see, it seats 16 players within it. So if you have a lot of friends or a huge crew of guys that you play GTA with, the Milljet might be a good vehicle for you to pick up. I can't necessarily say I recommend it, but I mean, if you got $1,275,000 to blow and you play with a lot of friends, you know, you could go ahead and pick it up while it's on discount this week. On Legendary Motorsport, under the two-door section, we will find 3 more discounts. One is on the Overflowed Tyrant, one is on the Cheval Taipan, and another one is on the Hijack Rustin. Both the Overflowed Tyrant and the Cheval Taipan are engine resistance cars, so that means they both have engine resistance, which means they are far slower than they should be. On top of this, both of these cars are also absolutely massive, and neither of them have all that much customization or performance to back up their looks. I would not recommend picking up either of these cars. They're both honestly pretty trash performance-wise. If you like the look of them, obviously go ahead and buy them. You're not going to listen to me anyways, but if you're expecting these to be fast supercars in GTA Online, they are actually some of the slowest while being some of the most expensive as well. Do not buy these cars, that is my recommendation. As far as the Hijack Rustin goes, I honestly don't know a thing about this vehicle. I've never customized it. I've never owned one. I will be customizing it this week, so I will let you guys know in the customization video, so stay tuned for that, I guess. Moving down to Warstock Cash and Carry, you will find a discount on the Brigade 6x6. I believe this is also discounted in the Freak Shop where you can purchase it directly from DAX, and as well as the Acid Lab equipment upgrade is discounted within the Brigade 6x6 when you're installing it by 30%. So it's going to be 30% cheaper, and the vehicle itself is also 30% cheaper. So if you don't have an acid lab yet, now is certainly the best time to get one. And scrolling a little further down on Warstock Cash and Carry here, on the left hand side we will find that the weaponized Tampa is also discounted this week. This vehicle is absolutely fantastic for taking on NPCs and players alike. I'd say a little more so towards NPCs because it does die in one explosive, but if you have the bunker research unlocked, you can get a posable minigun which you can rotate around on the top of this thing. It also has a rear-facing mortar which you can launch projectiles out of, and if I'm not mistaken, a proximity mine dropper as well, and front-mounted missiles. Now all of these things are upgraded from bunker research, so if you don't have any of your bunker research done, you're probably not going to have any of these upgrades for it, so keep that in mind when you are considering purchasing the weaponized Tampa. And finally, the last discount of the week is on the Imponte Beater Dukes on Southern San Andreas Super Autos. This has a lot of different options that you can do to it. Lots of customization, decent performance overall, not the worst car ever, not the best either though. I'd say if you're looking at getting a Beater Dukes this week, you should probably just go ahead and purchase it. It's $189,000, which is a pretty significant discount. It's pretty awesome. So we've talked about how to make money this week. We've talked about the discounts. Now we have to head over to the casino as well as the LS car meet and go over the podium vehicle and the prize ride for this week. The podium vehicle within the casino is the Pegassi Infernus Classic. This car is pretty decent. It's got a lot of customization. The performance of it isn't the greatest ever, but somehow I believe that this thing is still within the top 10 fastest sports classic cars in Grand Theft Auto Online. So it is still a relatively quick sports classic. The handling kind of sucks, but everything else is pretty decent, I have to say. If you can win it this week, you absolutely should try. The prize ride within the LS car meet is the Coil Brawler this week, which is a pretty interesting vehicle. In order to win this thing, you're going to have to place top 3 for 3 days in a row in Pursuit Series races within the LS car meet. The Coil Brawler is an interesting vehicle. I do like it. It's got some decent customization. This vehicle happens to have literally the worst brakes out of any car in all of Grand Theft Auto Online. I've never seen a car that brakes as terribly as this thing. It's almost like the rear brakes are the only brakes on the vehicle. That's how bad the braking is. Decent overall, I would say. It is rear wheel drive, so it's not that great for off-roading either. It's decent. If you can win it, you should, give it a shot, I would say. But if you don't win it, I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world. And last but not least, your time trials this week are Grove Street for your regular, and for your RC Bandito time trial, it is of course Vespucci Beach. Your HSW time trial is going to be somewhere on your map. Make sure you guys are getting that done this week for your additional $250,000 if you guys have it available to you. That's pretty much it for what to buy and what to avoid this week, guys. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video or you learned something. Dislike if you didn't, of course. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.